it's one of my favorite songs because I felt like I had the opportunity to step out of my comfort zone to speak about these things. You know what I mean? Um,
Welcome to the Style and Vibes podcast with me, Michaela. I'll be giving you the inside scoop on music, fashion, culture, and more from Caribbean celebrities and tastemakers across the globe, pushing our culture with authenticity and, of course, style and vibes. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Style and Vibes podcast with yours truly, Michaela. If you are new here, welcome to the family. If you are returning, welcome back, family. Today, I have a very special musical guest. I love his voice. It is one of my favorite voices that have come out of Jamaica in the last 10 years. And if you don't know that now, you will know, and make sure you go and stream his music. But it is Jamaican reggae artist known as Mortimer. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. Thanks for having me on your show. I really
Absolutely.
thanks for the love and the support. So,
Absolutely. So I discovered your music. I discovered Lightning first, and then I came and kind of listened to the EP. But tell me, you had music before that. So tell me about your musical journey and how you got started.
well, I grew up in a musical household. I mean, so to say, my mom sings. I grew up in church as well. So we, I started a boys group as well. I listened to a lot of music as well. So, it was one of those things that was just naturally in the air. And I loved it. But I got into music to comfort myself originally.
So did you start writing first, and then the melodies and songwriting skills kind of just came to you as an outlet?
Sometimes it varies. Sometimes it will be the melody that comes to me first. Sometimes it's the lyric that comes. Sometimes it's a drum pattern that comes first. So I kind of just roll with whatever comes to my heart first. But in my early stages, I used to go over to my virgin's house called Desmond on a Saturday. We used to go to a Seventh Adventist church, and we used to record at his house in his bedroom. You know, so that was like one of those early stages kind of vibes. Then I had my own setup too, my own little setup in my room. I record myself to and produce all them kind of stuff, and you just learn how to do it properly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So tell me about singing in church and starting a boy band. Like those are two. You dropped two nuggets on us. Me not fly past it to the.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it was part of the experience. It was a gospel group as a matter of fact named Boys for Christ at the time. And we used to sing a cappella. Singing it was an a cappella group. Outside of that, I used to sing on the choir, children's choir, youth choir, and then I was a part of a group called Youth, where we sang more contemporary gospel tunes, like the Kirk Franklins and the Ty Tribbetts and that kind of vibe.
So how did you transition to reggae? Because it sounds like you grew up a lot on like gospel, maybe a little bit of soul in there. Because I feel like your tone is so soulful. So tell me about that.
I, as well, I started listening to secular music. It wasn't allowed in my household, first of all, but I started to listen to a lot of music outside of what, was allowed to play in my household. And it played a big part in me wanting to explore it even more. And then I started listening to reggae music, and I was like, whoa. And then I've always considered myself to be a bit of a rebel too. Always going upstream when everybody's going downstream. So, the music was very relatable to me, and the messaging was yeah, quite interesting. Because growing up in church, you hear about God, and God is, the same old kind of vibes, you know what I mean? But when I was listening to reggae music, I got to see another side of God, or got to understand another side of what God intended for us. Another side to godliness that was probably less religious but more spiritual. And I came to understand that spirituality is really the essence of us, and it is definitely it's the more important part of us than religion. You know what I mean? I would
Mm-hmm.
say so. Messages of love and unity and you know empathy, sympathy, justice, equality. You know what I mean? All of these kind of topics start coming up, and I never heard about those topics before. You know what I mean? Like you don't get them in school at all. We're not taught about that. Of course, they give you like a little lesson about your national heroes and your little whatever it is, but there was no, or you hear about black people and slavery as if that was the only existence of black people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when I heard reggae music and started realizing that we're much more than what I was taught, a music and a movement that I like to be a part of.
Tell me about that even in transition. And you mentioned like kind of opening your eyes and really seeing a different side. How at what point did you decide, what age were when you decided you wanted to kind of make this transition officially in your mind and started proceeding to do this professionally?
Ah, you know what? Probably like 16,
Okay.
16, 17, yeah, yeah, thereabouts. From them time I've been dabbling in all kinds of things and getting into trouble with my parents over it. And, then they can't wait till I'm 18 talk came and so I can just get to do what I want to do freely and sing what I want to sing, go where I want to go to the studio if I want to, stay however long I want to stay. You know what I mean? So I would say about that time, yeah.
And I can only imagine how your family must like have felt in terms of your transition. So talk to me about how you balance that as an artist at that time. You're one coming into your own as an individual, two becoming officially a young man, and three kind of carving out your own path.
It, you know what, the balance, it was, I'm still trying to achieve the balance to this day. Um, and I think I have a long way to go.
No, I appreciate the transparency, and I think it's important to understand because I think it probably plays a whole lot into how intentional you come across in the music. And I think, being transparent will help others in terms of, I'm sure you're not the only one going through a situation like this, and the ability to kind of use that energy and put it into your music. It explains a lot about the richness in the tone of your voice, in my opinion. I think that that's my favorite part of just hearing your music is the tone. It's so distinct. Has it always been that way, or was it something that you kind of developed, or is it just something that just came naturally to you?
It came as a matter of fact. I used to wonder. I never had any examples of a rougher tone, you know,
Hmm.
than mine when I started. When I started exploring my own voice, I felt like it was a little too rough. I don't know, but then I started listening to people like Bobby Womack. I started listening to Stephen Marley. I started listening to Bob Marley too. I started listening to Prince Lincoln and all of these people, and I was like, well, I'm not, I'm not alone because I used to try to change my voice to sound like Neil
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
jagged edge and all them kind of smooth R&B kind of vibes, you know what I mean? But I came to accept my tone after a while and started playing around with it. Definitely, I would say it's been influenced over time by a lot of the music that I listen to and enjoy. You know what I mean? Apart from just naturally growing up and your voice probably gets different as you grow as a man too.
So,
Oh,
so tell
sorry.
me about performing and what do you love more, being in the studio or performing in front of an audience?
You know what? I both have both is a different energy. I love being in the studio. That's my favorite thing. But it's not to say that I don't love being on stage as well. But if it came down to this drastic decision where I'm supposed to say, well, one is my favorite and one is, you know what I mean, then it would be being in the studio because I feel like it's the time I get to just kind of be alone with my thoughts. And I work with a small team. I'm not one of those musicians with a bunch of people around. So my studio session is like all lights off, some ganja smoke, and we're good to go. Yeah, we got in the mix of our things, and yeah, we just move like that. Yeah, but I love being in the studio. It's very
Mhm.
calming for me, emotionally and mentally. It's a good place to be.
Now, in terms of I love that because it allows you to kind of almost paint the pictures that you want without the distractions. But I can also imagine the response that you get on stage. Tell me about like the first time that you performed and a crowd really was energetically responding to your music. What was that like?
Yeah. That would be. I don't remember the exact place, but the experience was awesome. It was super cool because listening, mind you, like I'm at home writing my music. This is music from my heart. I'm not thinking about the way the world will perceive it. I'm not thinking about anything like that. I'm writing this music for myself. Most of it was to encourage myself to like so to see the reaction of other people who listen to the music and rock with it when they're singing the songs that you write or like they know the words that's crazy to me all the time and it never gets old because even last year when I was on tour, um, just to see people singing the songs, it's just like wow, like I never imagined like this kind of impact at all. At all. So it's something that I'm super grateful for.
Mhm.
I mean, I feel like if I should die tonight, I would have done good work. That definitely brings joy to my heart.
So tell me more about the album. I know you recently dropped a single and you're getting ready to go on tour and release an album. Please tell me about that process and when we can expect it.
But we've been working on this project now for quite some time. But nothing before the time of the
I was just about to say that. Nothing before
year.
it's time.
Nothing before its time. So a lot of the times we get trouble within ourselves about time, but time is bigger than us. I mean, we always do is just make the most of it. We try to do the things or stay within the barriers of the things that we can control. Time not being one of them. So while there are things that we can do with time, we can't control it.
So tell me about the single Slowly. Well, I don't really think we really talked about Lightning, which is one of my favorites from you. So let's talk about that one first and then bring it. How did that song come about? And is that the one people kind of really know you for? Or
Yeah,
is it
yeah, yeah. That definitely got a lot of a lot of vibes, which I'm grateful for. But that song didn't even come from like the most lovey-dovey place ever. What I mean? It was one of those kind of vibes where we were at it, at each other's throats, and it was like feeling like one of those times when you say you're done and you're not going to do this anymore. What I mean? And I felt like I feel like I'm a better communicator to my pen. So I decided to just like write her a letter. Yeah, and at the time I didn't even know that it would have been such a song. What I mean? More people gravitate to it that way. As a matter of fact, the first time I made Tika hear it, she didn't even like it. Like she didn't even like it as a song at first. She's like, it's okay.
Was so unimpressed. All right, it's all
was
right.
so unimpressed. I was like, no, no, wow, okay, well, this is how I feel about
Meanwhile, the people them are excited to hear it when it and
it.
what one of I think because it is a vulnerable track. It's not like you said, it's not super lovey dovey, but it's a tender moment of sharing like relationship woes. But I think also my favorite one of my favorite parts of that particular song is I think it's right after the bridge where the sound goes from one speaker to the other, and it kind of like transitions, and I was just like, I've never heard this done before,
Oh
like
man,
ever. And it was such a nice tender moment to end the song. And I think as Jamaican artists, we like me artists, um
and you just about to say
we
100, so
no
you're the
no
artist.
no me is not the artist, but our artists tend
Yeah,
to not go past the second verse, right?
yes,
This was one of those songs where you have to finish because it just continues to build right up until the end. So I think the production of it, that's a song in my mind you cannot not play the whole thing and you perform it, and you
thank
the production of it, you have to play it right through from beginning to end because there are moments in between the song that you can't just like mix
you.
it.
Yeah,
I mean you can, but to get the full essence of the song you have to play it from beginning to end.
thank you.
Whose idea was that? Because that was I love that.
Yeah, I don't even remember, to be honest. But possibly Winter. But what we did was like pan the vocals, like a vocal pan in the mixing stage where we would put some vocals to the right speaker, some to the left speaker, and like it goes, it's yeah,
And
one of
if you're
those.
listening to it out loud, you have to listen like closely to hear it. But when you have in your headphones and you hear it,
It
it just
goes,
it's
yeah,
very, very poignant. Big up Winter. I love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So
Definitely. And Super too, Superman is our engineer and has
yeah,
been now for years. And respect to him. I'm my most comfortable recording. His name is
super.
Fumiaki. Yeah, he's from Japan. But he loves Jamaica and he's been here for years now. And we work with him. So big up to Super. And to Tandra. Tandra was the one who engineered for the lightning session. She, female engineer, wicked. Yeah. So we have to big up the people who behind all the mechanics, and it's not just me or it's not just the sound. It takes a whole team and a village for the whole vibes to work.
All right, so tell me about going about to go on tour and release a new project. So let me know, what do you have a release date? Is it gonna be while you're on tour or when you come back?
No, but what we're gonna drop another single. We just dropped slowly the other day. You had asked about slowly, by the way.
Yes, yes. I think slowly kind of gives me a lightning vibe, but a little bit different. So tell me about slowly the sing. And you did an animation video versus like
Yeah.
why was that?
I felt like I could get to express a lot more through the animation video, like budget considered and all of them kind of things. I wanted it to be a magical experience, as you can see with the moving flowers and the moon and all them, all them kind of dreaming stuff. And it was supposed to be, it's really like the idea behind it is a daydream, so, and big up to Icon for being able to execute the idea, just the way I had it in my head was super nice. So yeah, it was more like that. And over the years, Tika has fed me so much too that I put on so much weight since Lightning. You know what I mean? And I felt like
Shit not
slowly,
easy.
if I can't make it super sexy, then I'm just not gonna do it. You know what I mean? Like yeah, and I don't feel like I am visually sexy ready for a song like that. It's to me, so I just kind of let it stay for a little while. Hopefully, when I
get serious about working out and telling Tika no to some of the plates sometime and no to some of the meals and I've got the discipline going, then perhaps maybe I will do a one oil down video, maybe.
You know,
But
Shaka
yeah,
hear
yeah.
this again odd time now, you know. So you don't have a date yet for the release.
For the rest of the album,
Yeah.
well, we're looking at May. There's no date
Okay.
yet. You know what I mean? Because you don't know how these things go.
Mhm.
Sometimes you plan to finish by next week, but maybe there's a mix that you had to revise and send back, and then get another one, and then there's a bunch of things to consider why we haven't yet come to a date. So I feel like as soon as we're finished with
Mhm.
all the mixes, all the masters properly, then we can say, all right, then we're gonna release on the 12th of this month, or you know what I mean, whatever. But we do have another single coming out while I'm on tour in probably like a couple of weeks. You know what I mean? We're about to shoot the video for it this week, coming as a matter of fact. You know what I mean? That one is called Not a Day Goes By.
Mhm.
That's off the album as well. I'm looking forward to it inspiring, a togetherness, you know, um, some company for the lonely, a sense of relatability, you know, sharing some love, so I'm most excited about people feeling the emotions that I put into the project in the first place. You know what I mean? I'm definitely looking forward to that. You know, yeah. This album is very moody. You see me? It's one of the more moody sides of things. You know what I mean? So yeah.
And we touched upon coming to the states, but I'm actually pretty serious. Like, we have you considered coming stateside to kind of
Yeah, yeah, I
do?
would
Yeah.
love to, as a
Yeah.
matter of fact, and we have gotten like quite a few invites to the States and thing,
Mhm.
but just the economics of it all, sometimes like to go and do like two shows here and then like two shows over there and two shows over there, you know what I mean? So we're kind of trying to look at setting up like a whole run,
Mhm.
you know what I mean, where it just makes a little bit more sense
Yeah.
economically, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah. But
logistics
we
gotta work.
yeah, but I definitely would like to come that side. It's a great dream of any artist, you know what I mean? The great USFA.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, definitely. To get your music heard that side is it's difficult, but it's one of the things that we aspire to, you know what I mean, to breaking through in all parts of the world, you know what I mean, the
Mhm.
US, the UK, Asia, everywhere. So
Africa.
Africa, everywhere on this earth. If we can be in at every doorstep and in every heart, you know, then nice.
As an artist, what have been like some of the challenges you would say in terms of there's the art of making music and the business. What do you think has been the most challenging for you as an artist over the years?
Um, I think the most challenging thing for me has been aligning myself with people I can trust, people who are also in alignment with where my headspace is at and my vision for the music that I'd like to be heard and the way I'd like my music to sound, but I feel like I've managed to surround myself with a really great team now, you know what I mean? Winter musically, he gets me musically and I get him musically. We work on a lot of the stuff together. And that's a blessing in and of itself, so that was one of the challenges because that before I was like, yo, when you're working with people or whatever, it's just not quite the fit, or people send you stuff and it's just like, but I don't think there's ever a time when Winter sent me something when I'm like, you know what I mean? Like we just get each other musically. So that's one of the things I've managed to overcome over the years to and be able to surround myself with people who I can trust with my career, you know what I mean, and my vision. And yeah, we've been just going at it together, and it's been a joyous ride so far. Yes, we butt heads from time to time, and we have differences in opinion from time to time or whatever. But ultimately, the goal is the same. You know what I mean? Throughout, no matter the personality. So yeah, I'm glad we've been able to achieve that for sure.
What would you say has been one of your highlights to date?
Lightning, definitely. Definitely think lightning, what I mean, lightning, definitely. The people seem to love it, so we give thanks for that, give thanks for all the support and the love
Is that one of
for
your
everybody
favorite?
who, pardon?
What's your favorite in your catalog?
My favorite. You know what? I think my favorite song from my EP is Misery.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I think that's my tune still. Yeah, it's a Misery. I love Fight the Fight too, but Misery,
Hmm.
yeah, that tune is special to me. I love
Why?
Lightning in it, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Why misery?
Um, because it's I don't speak a lot about what what goes on in the society a lot. I don't speak a lot about it because one, I tend to not get myself too politically involved. Um, but there are matters that are urgent. The freedom of the people is a matter that's urgent. Equality amongst mankind is a matter that's urgent. And when I look around me and I see none of these things are happening, and I see lies being told, and I see people still in bondage, what I mean, even without the chains necessarily, it concerns me. And it's one of those songs that speaks about the current state of society or what I've observed around me. What I mean? So it's one of my favorite songs because I felt like I had the opportunity to step out of my comfort zone to speak about these things, what I mean? So that's, yeah, definitely has a special thing for me. And apart from that too, the drums, jeez, please. You see me? Squidly played drums on that tune. A brother named Squidly. He like awesome musician. You see me? And so the drums on that was like, yo, slapping, you see me? Yeah.
I
So
like
the
it.
next thing, and the pam 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 pam, like the pianos there. So ooh,
Hmm.
crazy thing, man. You see me?
That's it. That's always exciting, and I think it's always fun to understand like what artists love to
Yeah.
perform in their catalog. I think one of the challenges and opportunities that has presented itself for a lot of artists is social media. How do you balance using social media without letting it kind of get to you, even just from a usage standpoint, and how you want to post your messages and how you want to present yourself to the world? I think it has a number of positive impacts, but it also has a lot of negative impacts as well. How do you, as a person and an artist, manage utilizing social media in the right way?
You know what? I The whole social media bug hasn't bit me yet, to be honest. And again, I should state that as one of my challenges. I do find it a challenge to keep up with this new era of, it's may talk like me as an old man, but it's not really saying me as an old man. But I think I'm very much in favor or in more favor of the old way, the older way, which has become not so popular these days. What I mean? Obviously, the earth has evolved in its own way, technology has evolved in its own way. music, and as a result too, music and music business, has evolved. I don't know if it's progress or regress. A lot of people see it as progress, because of these things and the internet and whatever. The world has become much smaller, and knowledge is now, you know, knowledge and different perspectives is more, it's reachable. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, more easily reachable than before, more accessible now. I mean. So on that side, I guess there's a plus, but like for me and music and social media, that's all I use social media for, really and truly, to just promote music. And even that, I don't think I'm even doing too well with, because it involves me getting in front of a camera, videoing myself, singing something, or like posting this, and I just, one second. Yeah, it involves, posting myself, and I'm not, I'm trying to get comfortable with it, but it's not my favorite aspect. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So I'd say
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the challenges. But to ride with the times, you have to kind of overcome some of the fears that you have, and some of the things that the limitations that you put on yourself. You see me? So yeah, it's one of those things I'm working towards. But I definitely feel like it has a place. I definitely feel like a lot of people have used it to become more visible,
Mm-hmm.
to sell their business or sell themselves or whatever, in the ways that matter. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel like it's a good space as long as it's not abused. Just like anything else in life, a lot of things are good, but they are also bad if abused as well. You see me? So yeah. It's like everything good is bad, but not everything bad is good. Or everything good can be bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true. All right, we're gonna have some fun. Mortimer, you are touching the road. What are you playing to get
What am I
excited to
play
touch
upon
the
the
road?
road?
Yeah.
Let me see. I don't know, probably some Post Malone, some Migos, Post Malone, Migos, maybe Aurora. You know what I mean? I know that's like a mix of vibes, but what I mean, probably some Little Sims. Um, you know, yeah, I'd say that. Definitely
What
Post Malone for sure.
what's your go-to outfit? What y'all wear? What y'all style with?
Yo, Jano, I order some things just the other day, some nice things, you know what I mean, that I'm excited about. Can't wait for put on them fit there, you know what I mean? But I'm a simple brother, I don't really go too extravagant, though these days I've been tempted to probably switch it up a bit, you know what I mean? I like the whole mask wearing idea. I'm into the idea of like some jumbo earrings and like just some crazy thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I don't have like a problem within myself expressing myself fashion wise, like to, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, yeah. So I'd like to get more into, some crazy expressions. Yeah.
I love it. I like the
But definitely I put
experimentation.
on some mud shirts too, you see me? But know that for sure.
So the big question is clocks or crepes?
Yeah, man. Well, Clarks and sneakers, you see me? Don't know all the way. Yeah.
I love
And
it.
I have a favorite boot that I might very well carry up on tour. I have like a brown uppers boot that I got a couple of years ago. And I've just not been able to get my freaking self out of
Yeah.
it.
Well,
You know what I mean?
it's a go cool where you go, so it
Yeah.
perfect.
It's my favorite, and the boot almost done, but I love it so much. You see me?
Well, thank you so much, Mortimer. Thank you. I appreciate it. I know we're over for time, but I was having such a great conversation with you.
Yo,
I'm
if you
looking forward
if
to
I'm listen,
anything.
if I'm not boring you, we can talk for as long as you want to talk. You see me?
Well,
You know what I
I
mean?
know
Oh
we have
shit! No, I actually have another interview at two.
see there, see there.
Oh, oh,
Don't
shucks.
worry.
I didn't even remember.
You can come back anytime. I'll have you back anytime.
Yeah.
Maybe when the album drops, we'll have you back again. And you
Thank
can tell
you.
me about
Thank you.
having
I
being on
appreciate
tour.
that.
But I'm a big supporter of your music, so I'm looking forward to the album dropping. Wishing you all
Thank
the
you.
best on tour, and thanks again.
Thank you so much. It's nice to meet family too as well. You see me? Yeah, man.
Absolutely,
Big up and
yeah.
thanks for the
We'll
love.
have to link. We'll have to link, but that we'll take that up on next time.
Yeah,
But
yeah, definitely. Teak's supposed to be coming up soon, so
okay, yes, I will be
I'll
waiting out
probably
to
roll with
hear.
her one at a time, then, man.
Yes,
We can par
absolutely.
and go eat something.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
until next time, later, my peeps.
Thanks for listening to the latest episode of the Style and Vibes podcast. If you like what you hear, and I know you do, share it with your friends and family. If you want more, make sure you visit styleandvibes.com and follow us on our social channels, Twitter and Instagram at Style and Vibes. Until next time, Leah Tommy Peeps.